The furnace is football related. In fact, it's very specific to the reigning champs.
Their big catch cry all pre-season was humble and hungry. But I think Damien Hardwick would have a right now to the group to actually question their hunger.
I think there's now clear evidence that there's a body of work that would suggest they can't win the premiership.
I'm seeing teams who are harder and tougher and hungrier going at Richmond. Richmond have lost their invincibility.
People are entitled to their opinion. You know, they're newsmakers, that's what they do. They're after big headlines, and, you know, we've been in this situation before. It does feel a little bit different, though, with the amount of personnel going in and out. We're not playing well, we understand that, so we've got some work to do in a lot of areas. But look, this group have responded before, and I'm pretty sure they'll respond again.
So they need to be at their very best to defy history. Yeah. That is everything going for them. And what you're saying here, and what we're watching, what the numbers are telling us, is that they're not at their best and a long way from it.
You know, that was just un-Richmond-like, and something that we really haven't seen for the last 5 years.
The connection of our side is just not quite there at the moment. We're not quite playing the Richmond way. You know, DNA we sort of looked at yesterday of what that looks like as a footy club, and we're falling short of that at the moment.
I just wonder whether, with everything they've got going for them and the fact that they've got 2 first-round and 2 second-round draft picks next year, maybe won't go deep into September, they could bounce back again with the young players that they do have on that list.
And only they can answer that question, whether they are still as intense in their desire to go again.
You certainly find a lot about yourself and your club, I reckon, when you do hit some hard times, and we're probably like that at the moment. But once again, you can look at it one of two ways. There is a real growth opportunity, but the buried or planted philosophy. You know, we choose to be planted. It's an opportunity for us to find players that are going to step up and fulfil roles for. We need to get better in that part of the game.
I agree with Lauder. If they won the premiership this year, that would be the greatest achievement that I think I would have almost ever seen in the history of the game.
So the champs occupy many a mind for our real or overreactions here, Robbo.
How's Damien Hardwick?
Yeah. It would have been a better story if he'd gone, actually, I think you're all right, we're buggered.
So, no, I agree with him. People are called footy experts. Everyone's just got an opinion. But when we offer really great opinions about Richmond, Dimmer doesn't say anything. We start saying, geez, I don't think Richmond can win the premiership. And he goes, oh, we're just chasing headlines. Well, I mean, come on. It's just footy discussion, isn't it?
It's his best play left, isn't it? Is to use all of this with his group. You go, OK, so no one thinks you can do it.
Do you think he would be using it?
100%.
No doubt he would be.
100%.
So actually,
you have to use every possible tool you've got at this stage because it's desperate.
So he's going to use that everyone thinks they can't win it, but at the same time abuse people who say...
Yeah, so he has to stand at the front of it and go, no, come on. No, I like it. There's a hunger issue at the Tigers.
I think that's real. And not to back up Damien Hardwick, we're on the outside and we are judging them from what we see on the weekend. And what we're seeing is a lot of hungrier opposition, Gerard. OK? That's what we're seeing. Internally, Hardwick and his team would know how hungry they are. Now, you can sit there and go, no, we're hungry. We're hungry. We really are. You know, we look at each other, we talk about it. We're hungry. Really? But how hungry is that?
Yeah, they have a short breaking point at the moment.
Yeah, there's one great saying in football, Gerard, and I absolutely love it, and Ross Lyon uses it a lot. What is dog hungry? Now, have you ever thrown food at a starving dog? You will know what dog hungry is. And I'm seeing teams playing with a dog hungry attitude. I look at this team, I've seen them for 3 years play with dog hungry attitude, and I'm not seeing it this year. Now, if they can find that again, it'll be great, but it's hard to... you build up to this dog hungry attitude to get really flint hard and I'm going to kill you if you go near the ball. Richmond had it, and I just think you just can't turn it on and off.
Nothing lasts forever.
Dog hungry. I love dog hungry. I've got to turn the page, Gerard. I was speaking too much then. 2, Gerard. Now they're just too banged up. Real or overreaction?
Absolutely real. So the fact that Dion Prestia was revealed with a hamstring today, he just can't get a run at it this year. That adds to woes which were pretty significant out of Friday night anyway. So Prestia can barely go a yard, as Nick Flostone could barely participate in handball drills today with what he was dealing with.
Is that a corky, is it?
Yeah, and credit to the Tigers, they put out probably the best injury list of the year. to update everyone on where they are. So probably Lynch and Asprey, questionable Chol and Floston, and aren't available Nankervis, Bolter, Broad, Prestia and Soldo. And there's the mix of the short, medium and long term in all of that.
It's a big list, isn't it?
Which makes it difficult.
Have you ever had a corky?
No, nothing like that. No. You?
No, they're terrible.
Yep.
No, they're terrible. The icing. You know, they can get them working, they can get the blood flowing again, but it sort of goes a bit black and blue for a couple of days.
It's hard to pinpoint the biggest problem.
Yeah, that's real. Mark McGowan wrote a piece in the Herald Sun today, Gerard, about the areas that Richmond go. So, see, we can look at them through your own eyes and say, right, this is not happening. You can talk about hunger, you can talk about all that sort of stuff, and then you can deal with the facts. And the facts are numbers. And they've got issues in the midfield, they've got issues, but they've overcome issues in the midfield before, and I agree with Hardwick when he says that. We don't rely on clearance. The biggest issue is their turnover game. They are not applying enough pressure, and when they do get it, they're not kicking goals when they get it off the opposition. So in basic terms, what is that? They're not kicking enough goals when they win the ball back, and they're not getting it off the opposition as much as they used to. So it goes both ways. They've got issues to, getting the ball back, and they've got issues kicking goals. I don't know what their biggest issue is. There's a big basket of them, Gerard.
There is.
It's up to Hardwick and the players to get out of it. They're a better chance to win it next year.
Yeah, so I know you and I disagree on this, but I'm real on this. I don't think they are having a spate of retirements at the end of this year. And if they got a healthy group who finished earlier and with a long break, keeping in mind this was a short break anyway and they went the distance, and with not the youth that'll come in next year, but the youth that's already there, that's had a pretty good taste of it, I don't think this is the end of days. I don't think they can win it this year, but I don't think that's the end of their run.
What Richmond have done, and I wrote about this about 12 weeks ago, Richmond are looking at how Brisbane dealt with their big campaign at the start of the century, how Geelong dealt with it, and let's be honest, Geelong have been up from 2-7 to 220.
Yeah.
If there's a blueprint of how to be a competitive and really strong campaigner every year, it's Geelong. And then there's the Hawthorn one, and what did they do? They got rid of some of their veterans and salary cap and brought in some other superstars to try and prolong it. So Richmond have looked at Geelong. So it's no coincidence, Gerard, that Richmond have got 2 first-rounders next year and 2 second-rounders. They're already looking ahead. And it's not just about retirements. What happens when you get old? You can still play, Gerard, but your impact falls away. And you just got to try and manoeuvre it. So when the impact falls away, there's guys ready to restock.
I bet they don't take 4 picks. I bet that they use 2 of those picks really damagingly to bring in an A-grade player.
What do they need?
They could use one of anything, except they don't need any more tall forwards.